couple more cars we'll want to keep an eye on for. This little red Corolla, absolute weapon. In fact, pretty sure he won that tough award yesterday. For the little red Corolla, still manages to run a 580. That is tough. Okay, guys and girls, Class C. Get Class C to the staging lanes. There we go, couple more of these toughies. Good, bad luck. 525 for the holding in the speed flood. 3 for the rocket industry. Just repeating, we're going to get Class C to the staging lanes, please. Class C, make your way to the staging lanes now, please. Runs a 681 at 111 or 100 something, I can't quite see. There's a pole in the way. Still only got a couple Class C cars in the staging lanes now, so if you're in Class C, please make your way to the staging lanes. Runs 576. I reckon he had his wheels off the deck for half that run, so 576, that's way tough. As I said yesterday, very experienced racer. He knows his stuff. He knows what he's out there putting on a great show for us all. Jason Carpenter in the red pickup. A model pickup, and of course the orange Holden 1-tonner there in the speed flow lane. That's looking better now in the staging lanes. We've got a few Group C. If that's all the Group C cars we've got coming in, we might as well call Group D down. So Group D to the staging lines. Just follow the officials' directions and you'll find the right place to go. Now the other Carpenter boy, Grant in the blue 28A model road speed flow lane. Gets there with a 666 up to 6. A lot of sixes in there, yeah, that's what it is. And Pro 422, the VH Commodore, up against this very rare Pontiac Grand Le Mans. I say, I think it could be the only one in the country, but yeah. Next 675 Pontiac as well in flow lane. Just a reminder, we are waiting on Group D cars or Class cars to the staging lanes, please. Class D lanes. So still waiting for Group D cars. We've got a latecomer in the Bs. That doesn't really matter, I don't think, does it? That's cool. Group D cars to the staging lanes, please. Group D. D for dog. Just a reminder too, under the gasoline alley awning here at the staging lanes, we do have some of our road trip t-shirts still for sale. We've got from sizes large to extra large, I think. Anyway, if you're looking, they're all gone. Just waiting for Ethel there in the Rocket Industries lane. tell the story of the VT Commodore my wife used to own. Exactly the same colour as that. A lot slower than that, but I killed it by accident. Rolled down the hill, smashed into my shed, the car. On my seat. Nothing. And we got this really quick little Supra coming into the Rocket Industries lane, and also that beautiful HT Holden Monaro, winner of Best Old School here yesterday at last night's presentations. It is a piece of machinery. For the HT and a 625 for the Supra. And now the Pontiac GTO in the speed flow lane up against the beautiful gunmetal grey Holden Ute. Here in the Rocket Industries lane, couple of, looks like a little bit of an issue there for him. Just holding up the GDO for a minute, and looks like they're going to push him away, unfortunately. So hopefully he can get that sorted out, get back out there. Group E to the staging lanes, please. Group E to the staging lanes. We're rolling through these cars pretty quick now, so Group E to the staging lanes. Just repeating, Group E to the staging lanes. Get you to move down pretty quick if you can. Don't forget, folks, this is a chance to get our one run in for this morning. We've got to have at least one time slip to hand in to Jane. And then after we've gone through all the classes, we'll just open up the track for pretty much free-for-all, whoever wants to come down and do some runs whenever they feel like it. But for now, we are up to Group B. We're waiting on the Group B cars to come into the staging lanes. We'll run them through straight away. Might call Group F as well to the staging lanes. Group F to the staging lanes. We are, as I said, we are smashing through these pairings nice and quickly this morning. Just repeating that, Group E and Group F cars, staging lanes, please. cars to the staging lanes, please. Don't be shy. Come on down. Group E and Group F. Big forward fair lane into speed flow lane. This thing's up to watch. Watching the big cars go down the track, always up. It's like we got some Group E cars, but no Group F at the moment. Just repeating, Group E and Group F to the staging lanes, please. 6:43, 97 miles per hour in the speed flow lane for that Commodore. And again, we've got the Chrysler Sigma out there in the Rocket Industries lane. Up against this beautiful silver VL Calais. Another one from the Phantom Auto Works crew, I think. .651 for the Calais. Nice car, 108 miles. VH Commodore now, the two-tone green and silver. This is the Dodge Corona there, pretty quick as well. We get the 636 for the Commodore. Group G to the staging lanes, please. Group G to the staging lanes. In Group G, please make your way to the staging lanes. And the innocent unit upwards. Lane. They forgot to put the nitrous on for the first time, and then with the second daughter in the car, definitely did have the nitrous on. Definitely. Just blew the tops off it. But it's all fun, isn't it? I bet you was having a ball. Yep, that's right. If you can't win, at least look good doing it. Just a reminder, Group G, staging lane as well, please. Group G cars to the staging lane. Group G cars lining up in the staging lanes. So as I said, moving through these cars nicely this morning. Not too many issues at all. So, as I said, if you're in Group G, you should be in the staging lanes or almost there now. Can only actually see a couple of Group G cars at the moment. Group H, we might get you guys to start running, getting down into the staging lanes. Group H, if you're in Group G, you should be there already. We'll also get Group H into the staging lanes. Just repeating, Class H cars to the staging lanes, please. Class H cars. Here we go, folks, a couple of tough American muscle cars out on the line right now. Of course, we've got that pretty little red Mustang in the Rocket Industries lane. And, of course, Migaloo, the big Dodge Charger in the Speedflow lane. The boys just told me they've set it for full send, so if it hooks up, it's going to go hard. If it doesn't hook up, well, let's see what happens. And runs through with a 721, 102 mile per hour. That's pretty good miles per hour for a 721. So obviously was really starting the motor down towards the end of the 8th mile, that's for sure. Big smoky burnout. Grandma's Volvo. And there goes your proof we will let anything race here. Smoky burnout the full 8th mile. Well, a little bit of tank slap happening there towards the end, but he was having fun. these awesome US muscle cars, the big Dodge Coronet. Best Mopar here, well, in the awards, won the award for Best Mopar. I'm going to get run over here. That's my issue, I don't look where I'm walking. Coronet 703, 101 miles per hour, and 879 for the little black Nissan. And here's a couple more cars you don't normally expect to see going fast, but you are about to see just that. The XP Falcon with the Venetians in the back, and the Corolla also with Venetians in the back actually. So 4,602 miles per hour for the Corolla, and a 744 and just a fraction over 100 for the speed flow lane. That's a pretty tough luxury car, 728, 100 mile an hour for the big silver Statesman. Okay, so we got this beautiful big Ford Fairlane. Yesterday I said it was one of my favourites, but it's no longer one of my favourites because the boys were paying out on me for having so many favourites. So I decided I had to cut one, and that's the one I chose. Okay, so the big Ford Fairlane's no longer one of my favourites. Just announcing that officially. Of course, he's also he's going to be lining up against Sean Pask in this beautiful Willys in the Rocket Industries Lane. 731 for the big Fairlane and a 799 in the Rocket Industries lane for the black car. Okay, Class I to the staging lane, please. So that's our biggest bracket. We'll get you guys to start moving into the staging lanes now, Class I. Here comes this badass big F truck, big block, plenty of cubes on board. I believe it won toughest truck yesterday at the presentations, and certainly well deserving. 714 for the Holden in the speed flow lane, and 7, I think it was an 89 in the Rocket Industries lane. Just a reminder, we should have Class H in the staging lanes right now, and calling Class I to the staging lanes now as well, please. Class I to the staging lanes. LC Tirana out there now, up against the, I think it's an XR Falcon, XT, I think. Falcon, the silver car in the speed flow lane. And another one of our lady racers over there in the speed flow lane in that beautiful little blue Cortina, up against this tough Holden. And 74 for the Cortina with 84 for the big white Holden. Here we go, husband and wife line up right now. This is the husband and wife match race here between the red Falcon with the Fairlane front end, and of course that tiny little Ford Capri, obviously a Ford family, and out there having a great time. Takes the win on this occasion in the big Ford, and runs 7.93 in the Capri for the Rocket Industry lanes. Just repeating, Class I should be in staging lane now. Class I. I know that's our biggest class. I'm sure there's more. I'm loving the patina on this Valiant Safari wagon here in the Rocket Industries lane now. Frankie with the big F100 in the Rocket Industries lane, driven by Scooter March. Oh, you don't want to see the photos of Scooter Marsh last night. Oh, shocking stuff. Takes the win. Put on a great performance in the Dial Your Own challenge last night as well, did Scooter. Didn't quite get right to the end, but did pretty well, that's for sure. So all the Group I cars should be in the staging lanes now, or almost there. And then so after we finish those guys and girls, we're going to open up the lanes for anyone just to come down. We'll just have open runs. Just if you want to do some more runs, come on down, line up the staging lanes, fill it up, and we'll get you out there as quick as we can. As I said, no problem whatsoever. The shirts, still got shirts for sale. Look at it. Yes, large, extra large, and 2XL, I think. Yes, I got it right. What a memory. It's like a steel trap. Large, extra large, and 2XL shirts. Still for sale. Go see Jane over there at the Gasoline Alley stand. So that's a rather attractive lady with the red shirt waving around just a minute ago. Of course, don't forget, guys and girls, some of you guys are going to be leaving a little bit early. So please, 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 I can't say please enough, make sure your campsites are nice and tidy and clean before you go, because otherwise us idiots walking around cleaning up after you this afternoon when we're going to be going home and getting a hot shower and a few beers into us. And it doesn't take much to clean up after yourself, so please make sure you do that. Canteen is open as well if you're hungry or thirsty. Great to see a few spectators here, enjoying the action out on the track. Except my putting on a pretty good show for you this morning. What's there to complain about? Don't forget also our amazing official photographer Dave Reed from dragphotos.com.au. Jump on the website and all the photos are there live. Day 1 and 2 there already, and day 3 won't take long at all this afternoon. So jump on there, check out all the photos and support the guys from dragphotos.com.au. Buy some photos and let's keep that thing happening. Tell you what, best in the business. And that comes from a photographer, so happy to say that Dave, best in the business, motorsports photography, him and his crew do a great job. A little bit of a break here. Not sure what's going on, but it'll be something pretty small, I reckon. As I said before, canteen is open. Food and drinks over there. back underway. Oh, this microphone, it is getting me. Back underway with the Thanos Celica, the purple Mustang Celica there in the speedflow lane, and of course, this crazy Volvo station wagon. Speaking of crazy, we've got the Toyota Corona out there, Psycho 20, lives up to its name, it's pretty quick. Rocket Industries lane. What a screamer, 647, 106 miles per hour. Don't forget, for all the entrants, the racers and crew, we do still have water down there in the gasoline alley stand as well. So if you feel that the heat's starting to get to you, you're just feeling thirsty, we do have water there, free water for entrants and crew. Make sure you go grab one of them. I'll be grabbing one myself in just a minute, I reckon. A couple of tough Torontos here now. Industries lane. That thing was going nowhere. And another one of these beautiful, beautiful muscle cars. This amazing Chevy Nova. Not only does it look gorgeous, but man, does it go. And of course, the classic Aussie Ute here, the SS. Number plates, have a go. For the Commodore, 653 at 111 miles per hour, and a nice 645 at 108 for the Chevy Nova in the Rocket Industries lane. We've got our mate, the XP Falcon, back here. Like I said, looks like Grandpa's car at first, but tell you what, Grandpa would be having a ball in something like that. I love the Venetians, love everything about this car, it's so good. And it goes pretty hard too. Of course, we got the Commodore, the black Commodore in the speedflow lane. The Commodore runs a 733, just under 100 mile an hour, and I'll actually read that one. So you'll probably read it better than me. I can't see that. Too much stuff in the way. That's all right. Here we go, the new school, Holden Monaro GTS. It's actually a CV8, of course. In the Rocket Industries lane, up against the spicy red VK Commodore. And the VK goes through with a 650 at 90 mile an hour. Here we go, another one of my favourites, and I am going to say this one's a favourite because he didn't pay on me for saying I had too many favourites. It's the big white Dodge Charger. These guys are keen to run a good number this morning. At 104 miles per hour. Craig Thompson again. I reckon he's done like more laps in this thing this weekend than just about any other time. He's up against his Cyclo 87 PL Calais. Turns the tyres hard off the line. 666 at 104 miles per hour for the Commodore wagon. Black Falcon XR6 Turbo Ute in the Speedflow lane. And of course the iconic Goran in this very extremely tough Cortina. Turbocharged barra power. Putting on some wild rides this weekend, let me tell you. Drives it out of there and runs a 640. 83. So looks like he probably rolled off the throttle before the finish line. As we see these two Toyota Corollas. Couple of tough little Toyota Corollas, I might just add. That little red thing is crazy. 692 for the white car isn't too disrespectful either, let me tell you that. There's a couple of quick little cars there. Don't forget, folks, we've still got shirts available over at the gasoline alley stand there. Actually, if you go over and buy a shirt from Jane over at the gasoline alley stand, when she hands it to you, I dare you to say, "But it's upside down, Miss Jane." She might not even get that, she's not as old as me. Tough little Dado 1200 Ute up against this classic red HZ Holden. 58 in the speed flow lane for the red Holden. Beautiful VNSS Commodore in the speed flow lane. That is a very tidy car. And a respectable 683 for the VT, 108 miles per hour. Taking me back to the 80s and 90s now. We've got the Cordy up against the Sigma, and it's Mitsubishi Sigma. Pretty sure my mate Sigma never went that fast. Who is behind the wheel of the Statesman this time? Been sharing the driving between helmets on when you don't see them from the front. I'm loving this very tidy 34 Tudor. It's up against this deceptively quick Commodore station wagon. Jinxed him. 705, 98 miles per hour for the 34. And here's another interesting one, the turbo diesel powered Toyota Celica. Goes pretty hard, and of course this tough A model pickup with the extended crew cab of Jason Carpenter. Past the finish line and some coasting through. And let me see, this is the Overtaking Lane Commodore. Well, I didn't see who was driving, so they're both pretty quick. 42 miles per hour for the black belt. Blown HT Monaro. I think we got best old school for this car last night in the presentations. Very, very nicely presented car. It runs 643s, 94 miles per hour. A couple of these tough cars getting around this weekend that they just look like they've just been sitting out in the paddock for a few years and ones with a 714, 104 miles per hour. Now we've got this Toyota Sora in the Rocket Industries lane. And of course the other Carpenter boy is Grant Carpenter here in the 28 Model A Roadster. And he runs with a 704, 96 miles per hour. Plenty of ice cold water over there at the gas ski for our competitors. Might be a little bit overcast today, but it's still pretty steamy out there, so make sure you keep up your liquids. Still got a few shirts over there in the gasoline alley stand. And of course, don't forget we are asking you to make sure you clean up your camp area before you leave. Make sure there's no rubbish lying around. Make sure everything's nice and tidy. Otherwise, the track may decide we're not allowed to camp here next time, which would be completely understandable because it's quite unacceptable to leave your campsite like that. There's no need for it, and it's unacceptable. But yeah, if you just make sure those camp areas are nice and clean and tidy before you leave, and it'll all be good, and we'll be back again next year, or next time, hopefully it'll be less than a year. Okay, folks, up now in the burnout box, ready to go. We've got a bit of a match race happening here. Up against Psycho 20, that super tough Toyota Corona. Put your hands together for these two, putting on a great show for us all here. And who thinks the Commodore wagon is going to win? Or who thinks the Toyota Corona will take it out? We're about to find out. These pair have been on at each other all weekend about who is the quickest, who is the best off the lights, who's the fastest. We're about to find out. A bit of an anticlimactic there for the Commodore station wagon, but in the meantime, that little Corona runs 6:52 at 104 miles per hour. Well, we've got a quiet moment as well. I mentioned of course, the Overtaking Lane live feed is happening right now on the YouTube channel, so check out the Overtaking Lane YouTube channel. You can be able to hook up into the live feed. If you've got friends or family that can't make it here today, even though the tickets are free, well, just get them to hook up onto that YouTube channel and check out the live feed. All the action live and without ads, I think. I haven't actually seen it, but there's no ads, is there? No ads, I knew that. Live, no ads. Just, you might want to turn the volume down so you don't have to listen to my whiny voice. Well, you might like that today. Well, isn't it eerie when the racetrack gets quiet? That's really weird. Who feels really weird right now? I feel weird. Just making sure the track is all up to standard. Keep things safe for everybody. For the late model Monaro. And now the two Phantom Auto Works DL Calais head to head. Run 682, 74 miles per hour, and a 774 at 105. So I think the orange car is rolling off the throttle before the finish line, the last couple of times at least. Pretty happy with that one. It's a nice looking pass too, wasn't it? Just carried that front wheel just long enough to make it look cool, not long enough to get too scary. I've got to remember to look at the driver's face of this Commodore every time it comes out. The Commodore Ute from Armstrong Racing. It's two sisters racing it this weekend, and I never look at the face to see who's actually in the car at the time. Super goes 688 at 114 miles per hour. Little black BMW hatchback runs a 789 at 90 miles per hour. Here we go, Scooter again out in the F100. Up against the orange HQ. Tell you what, that green Charger looks awesome coming at you with the smoke and the tyres coming for you. Looks great. Per hour against the 639 at 110. Two turbo inlets on this Holden Premier. I think from memory it's got an LS in it, twin turbo LS. Speed flow lane, and it's another one out of the Armstrong Racing stable. Raises the tyre, heads to the centre line, and gets out of it just in time. Great drive job there from him in the speed flow lane. Rolls through with an 877, and the Rocket Industries went through with no problem, 792. The XE Falcon Ute up against the HQ Ute. The Holden runs a 641 at 112 miles per hour. Couple of tough Holden utes on the line now. It's the WB and the HT. Good reaction time for the HT, and he crosses the line first with a 6.97. WB runs 6.98, so as far as performance goes, they're pretty evenly matched. 99 miles per hour in the Speedflow lane and 98 in the Rocket Industries lane, so those two very, very evenly matched. Better reaction time though for the Rocket Industries lane, means he takes out the win on that occasion. Smoking the tyres. I had a Premier like this a few years ago. Had a nice healthy 350 Chevy in it. I called it the Grandpa Mobile because it had the full sun visor and a Venetian in the back and had the hubcaps like these ones. Oh, I wonder if it is my old car. Looked very similar. No, I didn't have a vinyl roof. That's it. But yeah, cracker of a car. I loved that thing. Do you need those long, skinny black things? Used to do the exact same thing. Number plate used to fold down, fuel filler behind there, you take off hard off the lights or whatever, number plate would fold down, fuel would flow out. It's just common, well, it's stock standard thing for those cars. Grant Carpenter now in the Model A Roadster. Up against the Sigma. .709, 98 miles per hour for the Hot Rod. Traction. Just waiting for that Commodore to roll off the end of the track. We'll get our next two cars up. It's this tough Statesman Supercharged LS Statesman up against the tough Supercharged HT Monaro. So both supercharged, but both very, very different cars. That's the Don't you just love a blown car? They're just so good. And 695 for the HT. Statesman goes 768. LS3 in the Tirana in the Rocket Industries lane. Guys were telling me yesterday, pretty much just got a cam in it and that's about it. About 690, 800 mile per hour, just casually. Nice, 518, 136 miles per hour for the VH Commodore in the speed flow lane. It's a tough car, that one. Let's face it, there's a heap of tough cars here this weekend. Spoiled for choice, we are really. And again, I keep saying that over and over. One of the great things about this event is the absolute diversity of cars we get here. We get such a great variety of vehicles racing here, and everyone's just having a great time. It's all pretty relaxed and laid back, but everyone's just out there having a ball. See that? Quick little tidy up at the start line. If our Willowbank officials can keep the start line tidy for us, surely we can keep our campsites tidy, get them cleaned up before we leave. I've done mine already. It's spotless. You wouldn't know I was there. I don't want to be doing yours as well, so make sure it's done before you leave. Couple of VH Commodores, the wagon of course, part of the Drop Bear Racing crew all the way down from Mackay. What a great effort. They brought 14 cars down with them from North Queensland for this weekend, and they are here having a great time. Just a little bit of a quick little check up down in the braking area there. Runs 8:01 and a 9:01 over there in the speed flow lane. Don't forget, folks, too, if you've got a hankering to have a photo of your car by the best motorsports photographer around, Dave has his dragphotos.com.au website up and running. Day 3 will be up very shortly this afternoon or this evening, and you can pick yourself up a photo of your car taken by one of the best in the business. Oh, I think this might be the first time we've seen this Lexus out here today. Well, had a sleep in or something like that, but took out Best Modern last night at presentations. Maybe he thinks he's too good for us now. Just gracious with his presence whenever he feels like it. The big Dodge Coronet with a shot of nitrous on board, about to take on this tough Phantom Auto Works VL Calais.
Must be upstairs, I think. I don't know. Everything.
Traction issues whatsoever. Runs 720, 105, and there's a 687 on the boards in the speed flow lane for that big Dodge Coronet. Couple of very tidy holdings out there now. The gorgeous orange one-tonner and the equally gorgeous green Tirana. Certainly come in some Larry colours back then, didn't they? Takes it with a 747 at 95 miles per hour and the 826. A skating pass there for the green Tirana. Tomo again up against the tough F100. $656 for the wagon. And a 7 flat for the big Effie. There goes the innocent Commodore's Ute. The thing I love about watching that race is the smile on Rob's face every time it goes down the track. He built that car for himself. The girls are pretty much taken over, but he's loving it. He's got the huge smile on his face every time they take it down the track.
It says 1080 now.
They are having a great time, and so's Rob. Scooter switching lanes. I think he's been in the Rocket Industries lane every run so far today, but this time over in the speed flow lane. Taking on that sleeper Commodore. That's what the number plates tell us anyway. truck runs 8.95. One of the tough station wagons here this weekend. Must have come close to taking out best shaggin' wagon. I think they gave it to Tomo, but this seems to have 676. From that car in the speed flow lane. It's been a pretty tough performer all weekend, but that was just next level. Great pass there from him. In the skyline, just working it through. Father and son race. Dad takes it out in the red Commodore Ute. Run 784. Tyler in the Skyline ran an 898. Just a reminder, folks, too, Overtaking Lane with their live feed all weekend, including today. Just hook up onto their YouTube channel. That's Overtaking Lane on YouTube, and you'll be able to. Don't forget also, I think we've still got some shirts left over there in the Gasoline Alley stand over near the staging lanes if you want to grab a great looking shirt. I'm actually wearing one now, so I'll be your model. It's about as good as I get. Oh, I've got a wolf whistle. Yes. Bucket list ticked. Wolf whistle from some hairy drag racer. Okay, racers, just a reminder, 3 p.m. is the latest time to hand in your fastest time slip for today. So you need to find Jane, hand that into her. Just repeating, fastest time slips to be handed in by 3 o'clock at the latest, 3 p.m. for the latest for the fastest time slips. Here we go, we've got Goran in that turbocharged Cortina. And, of course, Grant Carpenter over here in the Evil 28A Roadster. Both tough cars in their own way. But of course, this little Cortina is kind of out of control. Meanwhile, the little blue rod ran at 709, 96 miles per hour. But as I said, all the action was in the speed flow lane with that wild and unpredictable Cortina of Goran's. $8.95 for the F100. Classic Pontiac Trans Am over there in the speed flow lane, lining up against the 69 model Holden wagon here in the Rocket Industries lane. $8.67 for the Pontiac and $6.75 for the Holden wagon. Go the tough red extra crew cab pickup in the Rocket Industries lane. Jason Carpenter, of course, and this mental little red Corolla in the speedflow lane. It runs a 5.16, 139 miles per hour. That is amazing. One of the quickest passes of the weekend, I reckon. Here we go, it's Ella in the ute this time. Luckily, Dad told me, like I said, I keep forgetting to look at the face when I see him go past. I know it's either Ella or Mia. This time it's Ella. Both girls doing a great job. Oh, look at that, she's so relaxed, she even gave me the old surfy hang loose sign out through the back of the window. Few issues once more for the Pontiac. The guys thought they had that sorted out, but looks like maybe a little bit more fine-tuning in order. It was kind of every time they put the brakes on, it would flood the carby. So we thought we had it sorted out yesterday, but. This time 675, 102, and Ella in the Commodore goes 786. Commodore Ute, 665, 107 miles per hour. Into speedflow lane. And here's the car that won Best Hot Rod. That is the 32 Coupe. Technically a 3-window coupe. We got the father and son match up again. Bogged down like that. 791 for Dad in the Commodore Ute, and Tyler runs a 908. Can be a little bit concerning when you first start trying to push your car pretty hard. Young Tyler's only pretty new at this. He's doing a great job. And he's got lots of great advice behind him as well, so he'll get there. I think probably the first time he's running with the radials as well. I just put him on this morning. So a little bit to get used to. You see the big VG. Just a reminder, folks, all racers and crew, just keep in mind, your fastest time slip for today must be in with Jane by 3 p.m. 3 p.m. at the latest. And that's also around about when we're going to be, we're planning on closing off racing for the day. So still got a couple hours to go yet.
Just so sticky on the track, I guess.
VH Commodore Sleeper. It runs 673. Seem to change gear. 729, 103 miles per hour. Seen these guys match up quite a few times over the weekend. The Kingswood and the Brahm, of course the Brahm in the Speedflow lane and Rocket Industries lane with that beautiful white Kingswood. Of course, Kingswood running in the Dolly Road class, runs 8:29 and an 8:47 for the Speedflow lane. The big Holden Brahm. Tough Holden wagon. This Lexus is very nice, a little car. It's not something you normally see on the drag strip, but he's been out there all weekend having an absolute ball, and it's pretty quick for what it is too. I'll tell you that right now. All the right sounds as well. Very nicely presented Premier, this one here in the speed flow lane, and very quick as well. For the big Holden Premier. Nicely done by that team. Another great pass for the Green Tirana there in the speed flow lane, 5.23 at a big 139 miles per hour. Nice big smoky burnouts for the Falcon Ute in the speed flow lane. Getting plenty of heat into those tyres. Yeah, still getting more heat into the tyres. I don't think that's the way it's supposed to work, but that's okay. Looks like Sally Ann in the overtaking lane. Red Commodore Ute this time. Runs a nice 798, 89 miles per hour. Okay, guys and girls, we really don't have many people in the staging lanes now. It looks like there's one car there, so need to get that happening. If we don't have cars coming into the staging lanes, we might as well call it early, so make sure you get down here if you want to do some more runs into the staging lanes as quick as you can. I must admit I wouldn't mind an early beer or two, so if you don't want to come down to the staging lanes, there goes the diesel Salika. You always know when he's out there. You've got a few cars coming in now, but like I said, we need to keep those staging lanes nice and busy if you want to keep going till the scheduled 3 p.m. If the staging lanes stay too quiet, we'll just end up having to call it early. Just repeating, folks, we want to keep these staging lanes jumping, otherwise we may have to call it early. At the moment, there's a couple here and there. Oh, this guy's going to get me one time this weekend for sure. And but as I said, make sure you get down to the staging lanes and have them keep it flowing. We don't want to be waiting around in runs for the cars to come down to the staging lanes. Okay, this time it looks like we've got the mum and son match up. Of course, Tyler in that white Skyline, Sally Ann Hamilton in the Commodore Ute. Runs an 8:26, 87 miles per hour. we go with the diesel-powered Celica and the Armstrong racing car once again. This time, Dad Rob has decided to jump in behind the wheel and have a crack. This hasn't happened too often this weekend. The girls have been hogging the car, but Rob's gone this time. No, I'm going to have a go. Mind you, the girls have been doing an amazing job. Power there for the VT Commodore. We'll have to hold things up for a little bit while we deal with that. Good to see the driver of that Commodore pull off to the side of the track as soon as he realised he had an issue. Nothing worse than running oil all the way down the racing groove. So good to see guys and girls this weekend. They got the head screwed on, and as soon as something happens, pull over to the side of the track to make sure there's no oil on the good part of the track, the groove as we call it. Father and son at it again here at Willowbank Raceway. Of course, Tyler, the son, in the white Skyline, and Mum, Sally Ann, in the red ute. Tyler is getting better. As I said, once you get some sticky tyres on there, on a sticky track, it's not as easy as it looks. 8:22, 87 miles per hour. Here we go, a couple of Cortinas. Of course, no introduction needed for the white car in the speed flow lane. And again off the start line. And runs through 681 in the speed flow lane and 921 for the blue car. You need more races to come to the staging lanes, I can guarantee Tomo will show up. Best shag and wagon from last night's presentations. That was a nice looking run, that one. When he gets it right, he gets it right. Psycho 20 now up against this tough little black Gemini. Black Gemini gets out nice and hard and runs a 691. The Corona with an 894 at only 57 miles per hour in the speed flow lane. Is that really nicely presented VN, being driven like it was stolen. Looks like she's having a great time behind the wheel of that car. And out of gas for the innocent ute. So it'll still be fun, not quite as much fun. We were waiting for that to happen. We've used a fair bit over the weekend, which Dad's paid for. 8:32, not bad without the nitrous. Yeah, not too bad without the nitrous. 8:32 in the Rocket Industries lane. ProCharger aboard with this 308 powered VH Commodore. I could hear something there, I wasn't sure exactly what it was. Pretty much leaves up the limiter and runs a 695, 102 miles per hour. Got to be happy with that. PB, we think so. go. We got the Lexus up against the VH Commodore wagon. Yeah, a couple of little drips here at the moment here on the start line. Looks like we're going to have to hold the guys up until we find out what's happening. As I said, there is a few drips happening, and we certainly don't want to make things dangerous. And I'll make sure that it's not going to dump on us as we're heading down the track. Even the smallest amount of water on these tracks can make things very, very slippery very, very quickly. So obviously, as I said, we don't want that to happen. So the good thing about the traction compound that goes down on these tracks is, well, it's called traction compound because it gives you heaps and heaps of traction. But unfortunately, as soon as you get any amount of water on it, it just turns to ice. I've seen some crazy stuff over the years. We don't want that to happen here today, so we are playing it safe and making sure that rain's not going to continue to come down. This actually seems to be not much there now, so we'll wait and see what happens. We actually had the, just waiting for my microphone to catch up with me. We had an unusual situation the other day where there was not a drop of rain here on the start line, but it was actually pouring down there in the braking area, so we had to stop and have a break that day as well. And it was quite unusual to have to stop the rain when there was no rain, but in the braking area it certainly was raining. Great to see a classic triple carby fed 6-cylinder on board this beautiful little VH wagon. Here we go, Tyler in the skyline once again, certainly getting his confidence building each run. He's PB'd the last 2 runs in a row and just put on a fine burnout in the burnout box. 8.36 in the Rocket Industries lane for Tyler Hamilton in the Skyline. There with a 6.79, but the Commodore runs a nice 7.39 at a fraction under 100 miles an hour. Looks like our staging lanes are empty again, folks. If you want to keep racing, we've got to keep those staging lanes hopping. At the moment, no cars there whatsoever. If that keeps going, we might have to end up closing it a little bit early. Although now that I've said we've got no cars in the staging lane, I'm sure we'll see Tomo come down. He's always keen. It's good to see. Very good to see. A couple of cars there, but as I said, we need to get these staging a little bit fuller. I've gone back too far now. Sorry, folks. So, thank you. Just a reminder, folks, we need some more cars for the staging lanes if we want to keep going. The officials here at Willowbank Raceway, if they get bored... There you go, Skylar lapping the skyline. Going into the Rocket Industries lane again. That's what we like to hear, onto the limiter. Everything down in 15 minutes. If you want to go for a one last run, make sure you're back here within 15 minutes. We'll be shutting up shop, as I said, in 15 minutes. And we also need you to put your fastest time slip in 15 minutes as well. So just repeating, 15 minutes and we are done and dusted for the day. Just want to get this over and done with before the rain sets in, and also looks like there's a bit of a lack of interest in the staging lanes anyway. So, as I said, just repeating that one, 15 minutes, and the staging lanes will be closed for the day. And as I said, also need to get your fastest time slips into Jane at the Gasoline Alley stand here next to the staging lanes. Make sure you get those fastest time slips in to Jane in the Gasoline Alley stand. Just checking out, making sure everything's good down the other end of the track, which it is. So we're about to send this little black Nissan down in the speed flow lane. As I said, we'll be closing the lanes in 15 minutes time. that will be the end of racing for today. Definitely making some good horsepower there in the speed flow lane. Got up on the tyres, hazed them, and just, yeah, kind of backed off because who wants to go? What? That's what we call it, booming out. Good work, Tyler. Let's try to say Skyline and Tyler together. It's been a long weekend. Leave me alone. It's looking all right. 864. Little Corolla now in the speed flow lane, going for a solo pass. Pretty good run at 6:42 at 114 miles per hour. Not too long now before we close these staging lanes. Could be your last chance to get into the staging lanes for one last run.
All right, guys, so last few cars running down the staging lanes. Guys, the only reason we'll get back to a bit of racing is if we've got a couple on even points that we need to race off. If that being the case, that we've got, like I say, points that are even and you need to race off. If you are not... Obviously, if you are one of the people who's going to be in the race off, you're not here and you're packed up and you've gone home, obviously that will stop you a spot because you couldn't race off for it, guys. So that's what we're going to do. We'll sort out the points shortly. Last runs, guys. Another...
So, as we'll be closing off the staging lanes very, very shortly. I think we've got under 8 minutes left to go before they close down. And then, as I said, we'll just have to... We may have to run a few cars off to find out who's the winner if the points are tied. But other than that, if you were hoping to get one last run in, is that you probably should be on your way to the staging lanes now because we've probably got sort of 6 minutes left, something like that. Here we go, here's an interesting stat for you. The Black Commodore there in the Rocket Industries lane. This is his 48th pass of the week. That's right, 48 passes for a weekend of racing. That is pretty good going. Certainly can't say he didn't get his money's worth, that's for sure. Here we go. I reckon this would be the final pairing for the weekend, I reckon. We're going to try and get into half ton. Oh, okay. Might be getting that Black Commodore around a couple more times. See if we can get to 50. All right, not closing it off just yet then. Okay, we're going to try and keep the staging lanes open for just a short while longer. We'll try and let old mate and his Black Commodore get to the half century. He is almost here, so if you're keen to maybe have another one or two, you might as well come down as well. Don't forget to, folks, you've got to have your fastest slip in with Jane. I think everyone has, but just if you haven't, not everybody has. Keep going, she says. No, make sure you've got to have that fastest time slip in with Jane at the gasoline alley stand right next to the staging lane. So done that, get it in right away. Otherwise, you're going to lose points. Just saying, if you do want to get one more run in, we are going to try and let this Black Commodore make it to the half ton. 50 runs for the weekend. He's in.
Hey guys, so what we are going to do, guys, for the everybody can pack up. We're not going to race off. If there's anything tied up, we're going to add them up, and we're going to divide them up by 3 to get a highest point average. So for those of you hanging around to see if there's any ties, guys, pack them up and start to get organised. I'll call you shortly for the presentation once we get everything sorted. Presentation, guys, will be down at the start of the staging lanes very shortly. I'll call you up shortly, guys. So, like I say, if there's any tied, we'll add them up, divide them up to get our fastest average for the whole 3 days for your slips, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so we're just waiting to find out if the Black Commodore will be back, the Black VE Commodore back. He's at 49 runs for the weekend. We're trying to see if he can get to the 50, but the car did stop down there in the braking area. So we're hoping he hasn't completely worn it out. No, looking bad, looks like that's it. Yep, don't forget, guys and girls, we need time slips in at 5 minutes for time slips, so if you can't get those time slips in 5 minutes, that is it for you. You will lose those points. So 5 minutes to get those time slips in to Jane at the Gasoline Alley stand in the staging lanes. And other than that, for the track, we are done and dusted. The VE Commodore is like, no, I've had enough for this weekend. 49 is close enough. I'm not going anymore. And so the staging lanes are closed and the track is closed. The hard-working Willowbank officials can finally get a break and finally pack up for the weekend. They've done a great job. They work hard all weekend. And we are finished for the weekend as well. We'll just have our presentation shortly. That's going to be happening at the start of the staging lanes as well. So we'll see you there shortly. Probably give you a call when we're ready to go. Don't forget, you've got probably 1.5 minutes left to get those fastest time slips in down here to Jane at the Gasoline Alley stand. And if, like I said, if you don't get those time slips in, you'll lose points and probably no chance of ever winning anything. All he can sell in, and she's got 31 seconds to go.
Shutting the stream on shortly is the box cover up here.
What's up, Overtakers? Here we are, Kenda Part 2 today. How awesome is that? 2 weeks of radial racing in a row at Queensland, the Radial State Willowbank Raceway. Heading out to the radial track put on by Kenda. Awesome event, checking it out. It's got some of Australia's best radial racers hitting the track, making 3-second passes at over 200 miles an hour. It's the place you want to be at, checking this one out. So make sure you leave a comment down below for the algorithm. Hit subscribe, hit like if this is the sort of videos you like to see, and we'll get right into the action.
Here we go. First pass of the day, 1:02.9 in the 60. So guys, that brings us to the end of the weekend for Road Trip Drag Challenge. It's the end of day 3. Everyone's just getting their times in now. So thanks for everyone who's been here all weekend watching. Mopar Man, I know you've been here. Adam Geary. Nan's been here all weekend. Cheers, Robbie and Jones outside the box as well. Thank you. I did have about 50 runs this afternoon. I was having a lot of fun. The boys over at Jake and Friends gave me some radials. They've gifted them to me now, so I'll have them for the next meet as well. So make sure you go check out their channel, Jake and Friends, on YouTube, and subscribe to them as well. Give them a like and a follow. And thanks everyone for watching the Road Trip Drag Challenge stream. It's been a really good weekend. Cheers, Brendan. Thank you. And that's about all we have for you. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next